All right, guys, this is workout number 1 of 3. So this is a series for you guys. It's 3 free workouts full on my YouTube page. All 3 workouts are designed for hockey specific. They can be adapted for other sports, but these ones are designed mainly for hockey. For you guys, hockey players, I know you're eager to get back to this. You're stuck at home like myself, and you can't do anything much more than what you have in your house, or maybe go outside now that some restrictions have been lifted. So here's some options for you guys you can do at home to get back to where you were before the lockdown, get you ready for when the lockdown eases off and you're back, allowed back on the ice, or purely just get more explosive, more powerful, and improve on your conditioning. So for these workouts, what you guys are going to need are 2 things, and that's it. You don't need any fancy equipment. You need a dumbbell, okay? If you don't have one, you can use anything where you can grab it to your hand. It can even be like a can of soup, something like that. It doesn't have to be heavy, okay? Lighter just means you can move faster, which is good. It makes you more explosive and gives you more of that speed, strength, power, so it's a good thing. The second thing you want is a med ball. Again, mine's only 10 pounds, but that's all you really need. Doesn't need to be heavy. If you don't have one, you can use a basketball, a soccer ball. You can use a backpack, something small you can hold on to. We're not going to slam those, so it's fine, okay? You just need something in your hands to carry some of the weight. So those are the things that you need. Go with that. Now, let's get started. But before I get started, you need to make sure you're warming up, okay? I'm fortunate enough, I have spin bikes here, so I'm going to be on my spin bikes for 6 minutes. 6 minutes is the ideal time with a high energy demand to delay the onset fatigue. So I'm going to jump on my bike. If you have a bike, great. If you have any type of cardio machine, do that for 6 minutes. Don't have to burn out yourself. Okay, you should be able to hold a conversation while warming up, but it should still be high enough so your heart rate's pumping. If you don't have one, here's what you can do. Skip rope, jumping jacks, okay? Do 3 segments of 2 minutes, or do 4 segments of 1.5 minutes. If you can't last all if you're out of shape, that's fine, build up to it, okay? But get moving. Alright guys, let's jump into our prep and prehab. This is the doctor rollout. One thing you guys need to understand too with these workouts that before I start demoing this one, is you guys will have the workout plan within the description of the video here. I'm not going to go with you along the journey in a sense where I'm not going to follow along type of workout here. I'm going to demo you everything, and you guys are on your own when it comes to doing the reps, the sets, and then obviously respecting the breaks in between to give you the right amount of time off or amount of rest time in between sets. Okay, so this is like I said, this is the adductor rollout. This is one of the most popular one when it comes to adductor or groin stretcher preparation. It is. I know for my hockey players, my baseball players, my basketball, this is one of the favorite of all athletes I've had so far. Obviously, hockey loves this because we have a overly loaded groin and really tight adductors, so we want to improve on that. So like I said, you don't need a lot of equipment for this workout, and really you don't really need this, okay? You can use a pole instead of a foam pad. If it's a foam roller, you can use a glider, you can use a towel if you're on the hardwood that can slide, and you don't even have to use anything. You can literally just leave your foot in place. I'm going to show you what the rollout is, give you an idea, and then after that I'm going to show you the other version where you don't have anything else. So this one is just to allow the foot to slide out a bit more, okay? It's really allowed to prep on the adductor. So what I'm going to do, okay, kind of get spread out, I'm going to squat down, so I'm going to hinge, I'm going to push my hips back by letting go of my glutes. I'm going to push back just like it is on a squat. It's the first pattern of a squat right here. I'm going to push back, I'm going to sit, allow my body to hinge forward, moving out. As I'm saying, I'm also going to roll out to start stretching out gently the adductor. I'm going to snap it back, okay? I'm pulling on the foam roller. That will allow me to really build the strength through, and I'm going to back through, prepping on the groin muscles, okay? So I'm going to go down, back up, that 10 times. If you don't have foam or anything, you can glide on, go in hardwood, be in your socks, it's going to slide. If you don't know it, just do a half kneeling squat. Same idea. You're going to sit down, keep your toes pointing forward. I'm going to reach down, I'm going to hinge on my hips. I'm going to feel nice stretch on the inside, and I'm going to squeeze through. Make sure as you're squeezing through, okay, despite getting the adductors warmed up, or the groin, okay, we want to make sure our glutes are also getting fired up, because know what? Our power comes from our glutes. Our glutes muscles are the strongest and most powerful muscles of our body, but we need to make sure they're primed and ready to go for today's workout. So down, I'm letting go, I'm gonna snap, I'm gonna push up. As soon as I push up, I'm squeezing my butt as hard as I can. Squeeze hard, good, as hard as rock. My grind's ready, come back down, repeat, so on, okay? 10, go on the other side, 10, and that's your first one, that's your doctor rollout. All right, second exercise, I'm gonna prehab. This is iso squat, pike fold, or deep squat, pike fold, okay? Multiple names for this one. Iso, because today we're holding at the bottom. At the bottom, the goal is to open up our hips as much as we can. And then as we fold into our pike, then the goal is to stretch out the nerves that runs through our lower back into the back of our legs and down the body, okay? We want to make sure everything stays nice and lined and is prepped for the workout. So what are we gonna do? First of all, you need to find a stance where you're comfortable to keep your feet on the ground. Okay? If you have really poor mobility in your hips and it forces you to drive into your toes, you can go wider. If you have a lack of ankle mobility because you're too stiff to your calves, you can really stand on your ankle and so on, then you can raise your heels a little bit, make sure the ground's nice. So you can use plates, books, and then you can lift, make sure the same height though, but lift your heels up. Okay, I'm fairly mobile, so I can actually go down and sit down. So what I want to do here is at the bottom, I'm going to push out, okay? One of the biggest mistakes we see with hockey players is whether it's come from weakness, oftentimes from our skates, okay, our feet get weak. Second is from a neuromuscular training. We've so many times for so long in our career, we've actually learned to push the inside edge of our skate to allow us to push forward. So we tend to revert back to those patterns when we're in the squat pattern, and we tend to push the inside of our foot, okay? Collapsing the ankle is not something we want. It's not healthy, it is not good because it adds more strength to your MCL, which is the inside of your knee. And as hockey players, we are prone to injuries. So we gotta make sure that we stay away from the MCL and focus on the proper form, okay? Eventually we'll do a video that talks really about how to squat properly. For now though, let's try to be careful with this. So I want to use as much as I can my foot, but I will mainly focus on the outside, the heel, and the base of my toes, as well as my toes, okay? So I'm going to push outward toward forcing everything outward, seeing the outside of the ground with my feet. From this point now, I'm sitting down like almost like a frog. I'm going to push out gently with my elbows. I'm going to grab onto my shoes, okay? Feet, I'm going to grab on. I do not let go. Regardless of how high my flexibility allows me to go, I do not let go of my shoes. I want to make sure I'm stretching the nerves that runs all the way to the back of my body, so I need to hold on to my brace, okay? So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to push in with my elbows to open up my hips, and from there I'm going to slowly go up, rounding up my body into my pike, which will then allow me to stretch everything in my lower back, my legs, and my back. I'm going to come back down and reset, okay? You guys can do that 10 times. Take your time, it's not a rush. Make sure you get a good stretch through at the bottom, and after a while you might find your quad starts loading because you're holding the squat position for a long period of time. That is completely fine. We are just priming your quads in that sense. So let's prime the quads, let's stretch out those nerves. We'll be good to go.
All right, guys, hip airplane. Great exercise to work on your hip joint and on your glutes. We're going to reinforce your glutes and prep your glutes with this one. But you need to be aware, you cannot let your knee cave in, okay? You're trying to rotate on the hip joint, not on the knee. That being said, as you're dropping in, if your knee flares out, that's fine. But as you're opening up your hip, you cannot let your knee cave in. No matter what, leave that knee in place. If you can't go any further, then don't go as far.
All right, guys, last exercise, the prehab. This is our push-up plus. Plus because we added a little bit of down, we're going to actually round up our back. I'm going to pull our shoulder blades down, okay? That will involve more serratus involvement and preparation. So the serratus are crucial muscles right by your ribs. They're not ribs, they're actual muscles, okay? And their main job is to make sure your blade stays down. And the reason why I'm going to prep those is because we do have some press in this workout, but mainly why we need to implement those into a injury prevention program is that our shoulder blades are not meant to be dumped forward, okay, or up. And the problem is that if the serratus are too weak, that's exactly what shoulder will do amongst their muscles. So if you're going to take a hit along the board and you're going to round up, which most of us will do because it's naturally easier for the body to round up. Second, if our muscles at the back are too weak, it will pop shoulder up. But the serratus will also, if they're too weak, also increase on the chance of you popping your shoulder out, okay? Because as it pops, your serratus are not involved anymore and you can't keep your shoulder blades down. And if your rotator cuffs and back muscles are also weak, guess what? Now you are stuck. Pop your shoulder forward and not having much to hold it in place, okay? The shoulder joint, unlike most joint, it doesn't sit in a capsule. It is surrounded by muscles that holds it in place. Like the hip and the knee and so on that have more of a capsule that holds everything in place, this one is purely held in place by muscles. So we want to make sure all the muscles are surrounding the shoulders are strong, healthy, and balanced. Okay, that's crucial. If we have an imbalance, again, it's easier for the shoulder to pop out of place. So, push-up plus. Okay, it's pretty simple. You're gonna do a push-up. You're gonna go down, bottom, and come back up. But at the end, you're gonna you're gonna punch through the ground. You're gonna round up your shoulder blades and push through them up your back. That's gonna involve your serratus pushing you through. Okay, have a slight curve as you're punching forward. So to come down, push up, push, down, up, push up, push. You want to really push through. So you're getting a slot rounded in the back that allows the serratus to evolve. The serratus will get more involved at the end, push, especially the further away from your body you can push, the more they get involved as they prevent your shoulder blade from winging out. Okay, so this is your last prep and prehab exercise. Now we're going to go on to what's called our speed roll, which is in use to prep our brain so that we are more efficient into our workout. It will also prep the bigger muscle, which will then translate into more efficiency once we get to the actual workout. All right, guys, speed neural. This is the part of the workout that acts as a second warm-up of some sort, where the primary focus on this is to prep the brain or the central nervous system to be as efficient as we can, so that if you were to lift heavy weight, your brain would be wired to activate and fire as many fibers into your muscles as much as you can, or in this case, it's to make it as efficient as we can in terms of speed and power, because we want to be able to recruit fiber quickly and want to be able to fire rapidly so we can be as fast and explosive as we can. Okay, so this kind of is going to allow us to really prep the brain for that. Second, it will also prep our bigger muscles. Okay, we're not really loaded at this point, but we are moving a lot more dynamically. We're also going to use them a lot more than we have in warm-up, so really this serves as a second warm-up. First thing we're going to do, okay, it's one set of 6 per side. It is the single leg or the skater stance. Okay, it's the vertical skater basically. We're going to go into a vertical skater jump. So what are you going to do? Like a vert jump, okay, we're going to single leg vert jump. The difference, we're going to apply more of a skater stance what we use when we skate. So I'm going to go down on one leg, I'm going to load, I'm going to drive my knee through it despite not really driving. When we skate, we still need a knee drive to come in and out when we go to our strike. Okay, we need to create that revolution. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to jump up, back down, okay? The biggest thing is you'll notice is as you jump up, okay, you tend to sometimes just collapse down. Make sure everything comes up forward. We're going to build up power vertically. And yes, you might say, okay, why do I want to build power vertically if I'm trying to push forward? Because right now, if I were to push forward, I would just fall on my face, okay? So yes, I'm going to change my dynamics. I can build as much power as I can through the leg, create that triple extension, which is still required when we do a skater stride. So I'm going to go up, and down, load, I'm going to jump up, come back down, okay? When I come back down, try to stick that landing for 2 reasons. Why? We create a deceleration in the knee. And a lot of the work today, pardon me, not today, but throughout these 3 workouts, we'll have deceleration to reinforce the knee. We want to make sure our knee is strong and stable. We don't want our knee to collapse in. That is really bad. That knee valgus adds a lot more strain on the MCL of the knee, okay? Multiple reasons can cause knee valgus, but in this case, if we can try to improve it by reinforcing the muscles around it, which at a younger age, it might be your case, because you guys would have just weaker muscles surrounding the knee, especially if you're growing right now, your muscles are being stretched out, they're not as strong, because they grow extremely fast over your bones. So if we can build everything around, make sure it's strong and healthy, the better for us, okay? So maybe start with the lower jump and then get better on decelerating. So catching yourself, taking a hit and making sure you're holding in the right place, tracking your foot and your knee forward so that your knee tracks over your second toe and so on, okay? So down, up for 6. That's the first one. Second one, okay? So you're gonna do your set of 6 per side. You want a second one. Second one is your lateral power skaters, okay? Or lateral skaters for power. So what we're gonna try to do here is instead of just focusing on jumping up, we're gonna focus on jumping wide. Because when we skate, we have more of a lateral push, despite being an actual angle push, we're gonna go more lateral. So in this case, we're gonna load out as much as we can. I'm gonna load this leg, I'm gonna try to push as far as I can. I'm gonna land that, stake that landing, land on the other side, okay? And make sure I'm stable as I can as I land. So out, I'm gonna push, stick. You can reset this one. The goal is not to go back and forth. That's gonna be next. Now we're trying to get as much power. So if you jump so far out that you need both feet to land and stick your leg, hey, that's fine. That means you had an excellent push and you're really powerful out. That's what we want. We want to be as powerful as we can. So yeah, I'm gonna go down, load, and I'm gonna explode to side. See? Land on 2 feet because that's such a powerful landing. Same thing, you can repeat again, down, load, explode, big push. Make those push big, back and forth. That is for the second one. Okay, again, 1 times 6 per side. In between those, you can take breaks so you don't have to go right into it. Okay, you want to maximize efficiency, so take with a break, allow yourself to recover. And the last one, now we're going to go for speed. Okay, so we've had a vertical power, we had a lateral power. Now we're going to add some speed because we've done so much power, we need to create some speed. In this case, 2 things. First, to be fast, you got to be smooth. If you're trying to go too fast and you're choppy, you know what? You might feel fast, but you're not going to be efficient. We want to be as efficient as we can. So slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Okay, take your time, do it under control. The more control you're going to be, the faster you're going to become. So all we're going to go back and forth. It's 6 times a side or 6 jumps a side for a total of 12 jumps back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to go, I'm going to load, I'm going to stick. I do not decelerate, bounce. I want to be as fast as I can back. Okay, but don't you just try. Don't just end up doing this. That doesn't do anything. Really go side to side. So Bill, still want to get some power. We're powerful every time we move. So down, into skate, skate, skate. Okay, drive through. Load quick, right away. Kind of like a spring. You want to load, explode, back and forth. And watch your ankles. You have a good feet, stability through. Okay, back and forth for a total of 12, 6 aside, and as your last and third exercise for the speed and roll.
All right, guys, this is the skater cleans press switch. Switches for your feet, okay? One big thing, you want to make sure you're catching the dumbbells as you're receiving on the opposite foot. Keep your feet light and fast, press above your head, and then start over.
All right, guys, last 2 exercise, secondary, no ESD today, which you can find in the other workouts. ESD stands for Energy System Development. In this case, there's nothing like that because this one is a bit of a Metcon or a anabolic stress, where we're going to improve on the stress or anabolic stress in the legs to improve one, growth. Second, improves the lactic acid threshold, and lastly, we're going to improve its stamina. Okay, with all that, this will also improve your quad, work on your quads, work on your adductors or groin, and work on your glutes, which is what we need when we skate. Okay, all 3 muscles that are in high demands or under a lot of stress when we skate. So the first one, 30 seconds. We'll take both exercises will be done in 30 seconds. So you'll start with the first one, 30 seconds. Without taking a break, we move on right into your second one. Okay, the first one is your skater squat. Skater squat, because we're not truly squatting into it. We're going to drive more to our quads, just like we do when we skate. And the body position is more inclined forward, just like it is when we are skating. So this is where you're going to use your backpack, your med ball, and if you have plates, you guys can use plates, put a plate on your back. Okay, I'll use a med ball because I said that's what we're going to use. So med ball on your back. Okay, I'll do this so you can see the angle of the legs. Feet are flat, straight, control. Okay, again, I did not talk about the feet posture. If you want to learn more about that, then just go on either my Instagram page or send me a message, and we can discuss this further. But for now, okay, all I'm going to say is like create that tripod, flat foot, be stable through. Seal the outside, jam your toes to the ground, and your heel is stable. You're going to come down, and what we're going to do is we're going to load, lean forward. I'm going to come up and down with a good pace and good speed. You don't have to go too fast, okay, and half rep everything. Move a good rep. You don't have to lock your legs, okay? I just want you to go up and down. We want to constantly load the quads. So we don't want to lock, so we don't have to pause it. We want up and down without pausing each end, okay? So there's no pause at the end range. That's the first one you'll do for 30 seconds. Then we're going to move on to the second one right away. Okay, so when you're doing the 30 seconds, you see your stopwatch, you hear the timer, or whatever, you go right into the next one. Okay, the next one, the goal is to emphasize 2 things: hip mobility, glutes, and your adductors. So we want to really add more strain on those 2 muscle groups so we can really reinforce them and get ready for when you guys get back to the ice to minimize the amount of injuries or soreness, tightness you might create over your first few skates. So ball is in place, okay, on your back. Go low it down. This one, don't cheat it. You're gonna get tired, your legs are gonna get heavy. Don't start pulling your butt up and driving your chest down. Keep everything in place, stay strong. What you're gonna do is you're gonna reach over, long leg, okay? Now you're gonna load for this leg, your quad, your glute. You're gonna transfer over, so you're gonna sway. As you sway over, your groin's gonna really get activated. Come back in, and then repeat on your side, and slowly move out and to the side, snap back in, back out, okay? Don't rush it, take your time. You want to make sure that your groin gets a workout as much as your glutes and your quads, okay? So sway in control over reset, explode your leg out, then move slowly, and so on for your 30 seconds you have to do. All right, guys, so this concludes the first hockey workout for you guys to do at home. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, this was maybe a little shorter than the other two coming up, be honest with you guys, because there's no ESD into this one. But I thought we'd ease back into it. I don't know if you guys have been doing much or not. So this is a nice way to ease into it. I promise you some of you will be sore from this. If you don't find, or if you're not sore tomorrow, you'll be sore 2 days from now. Regarding the other two workouts, they will come in later, okay? If you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me by either leaving a comment down, sending me a message, whether it's on YouTube or my Instagram page, evoathletics.ltd, or it could also be on TikTok, same thing, evoathletics.ltd. And also, if you want to look at more exercise and ideas, there's some more in those two platforms that have a lot more to do with hockey as well. From there, if you have any comments, any thoughts, I think you can just leave a comment at the bottom. Okay, I just want to get feedback. So, this is my first time ever doing this, so it's like you guys a bit of a newbie in that sense. So I kind of want to know what you guys thought about it, and I just want to say thank you for watching, being part of this. And if I don't see you the next two workouts, guys, well, best of luck in the rest of your career. And again, if you guys want to know more, be able to do more, something like that, you can always reach out to me, like I said, on my platforms, or just go to my website, evoathletics.ca. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out in the future. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next two workouts that should be posted later on this week.